Hi, I'm Melanie, and I'm going to talk about another reason why Philinter is the right school for our students. We have here the guaranteed levels. We make sure that when our students come here, they will really achieve their desired levels. So we have different ways on how to guarantee them. First is we have the ESL-based tests, such as the placement test or the entrance test for our new students. And we have the weekly test, or what we call the power test, which is focused on vocabulary, listening, and grammar. And of course, we have the monthly test, or the famous progress test, which will test the students' improvement over a 1 month period of time. We have also the specialized courses based, such as the mock test for TOEIC and IELTS, and of course we have the task completion for the business course. And I know that most of the ESL schools have these kinds of tests, but what makes these tests right? Okay, I have 3 reasons. Okay, first is we have the specific skill objective, which will make sure that our students will achieve a specific skill based on a specific criteria. And of course, we have also result-oriented tests, which are based on the general skill, specific skills to achieve, lessons to take, and the time to take it. The last one would be the clear learning levels, which is based on the levels of learning. Before making a test, any kind of test here, especially the progress test, we make a table of specification. This will control the types of questions that we put into the test, and it will make sure that our students are well reviewed for the progress test. So for example, if the student has a low level, we will focus it on the knowledge, comprehension, and the application. Okay, so again, we have the 3 reasons why these tests or those tests are right. We have specific skill objective, result-oriented tests, and of course, the clear learning levels. Now, the 5th reason why we are the right school is the coordinated class structures. Another concern for our students when they study abroad is the number of classes. But in Philinter, we provide sufficient or enough classes for them, such as the one-on-one classes, which are very flexible, and it will depend on the students' needs. It is focused on the students' weaknesses and, of course, their strengths. We also have their small group classes, which is an integrated and interactive learning environment where the students can have more time or more opportunity to interact with their classmates as well as their teachers. It is focused on more presentation classes or situations. We have the big group classes, which is a lecture type class where the students will focus on learning on the theories and methods in studying or learning English. Okay. And of course, the last one is our focus optional classes, which is given every Saturday. We have the listening and speaking small group class, and of course review classes for our TOEIC and IELTS. And of course, are these classes enough for students? Then I have to say, of course, since we have 4 to 5 one-on-one classes, 2 small group classes, 2 big group classes, and at least 1 focus optional class, a total of 9 to 10 classes for our students. Another reason why Philinter is right is we have the monitoring and assessment. Now, most students wonder how the school or how the teachers know if they are improving or not. So here we have created the 2-way system, which begins with the student monitoring. We have different ways on how to evaluate and monitor our students, such as the in-class monitoring. So this is for our one-on-one classes. Our teachers will have a monitoring sheet where they can record everything they do with their students, such as the homework, attendance, and the participation that they have in the class. Of course, we have the subject lesson plans where our teachers will record everything that they have discussed with our students. And then we have the general consultations, which is done by our academic coordinators and assisted by our buddy teachers. And lastly, we have the level assistance. There are some special cases where a student is not improving because maybe one system might not do well for him or her. So it will be consulted by our school vice president and our school head. And of course, we do not only monitor our students, but also our teachers, because in some situations there will be problems if the teacher is ready or not for their classes, if they are providing a conducive learning environment. That's why we have the teacher assessment. Okay, we monitor or we evaluate our teachers in different ways. The first one is we have the teacher evaluation, which is done by the team leaders in our section. And then we have the student feedback report, which will be assessed or evaluated by our students. And then we have the enhancement training so that our teachers can enhance or improve their teaching skills. And we also have workshops, and our hiring process is a very extensive one, since 90% of our teachers hired have at least an education field course. So again, we have our two-way monitoring system. We have the student monitoring and the teacher assessment and training. This is what makes it right. A good student must have a good teacher.